Have you heard the one about the doctor, the accountant, and the lawyer went to a funeral together? They had made an agreement with one of their friends that the four of them, whoever died first, we wanted to make sure they had enough money for the afterlife. So they agreed that each one of them would put $10,000 into the grave of the first one that passed away. The doctor gets up to the grave, the casket's lowered into the grave. The doctor gets up there and takes a big bag of coins. This is silver coins, $10,000, puts it in. The accountant comes over and says, I have this thick envelope here. And he shows $100 bills, $10,000 in cash. He puts it into the grave. The lawyer pulls out his checkbook, writes a check for $30,000, sticks it in an envelope, puts it in the grave, picks up the silver and the cash, and walks away. Good evening, Kemp Toastmasters. I love a good joke. Actually, I like all kinds of jokes. Hopefully, most of them are good jokes. Some of them are clean, some of them are dirty, some of them are ethnic, some of them are all kinds. I'll stick to the clean stuff here, don't worry. But I love a joke, and I love all kinds of jokes. Many of you know I'm really into puns, which are sometimes a little longer, often just one line, making use of different funny things in language. But I also like story type of jokes as well, like the one I just told. What makes a good joke? I'm sure somebody's written, probably many somebodies have written PhD theses on the topic. People have written books, and I've read some of them on the topic. There's probably a government study somewhere putting our tax dollars to work on this topic. But I just like to work from examples. Sometimes jokes are about making fun of a group of people. And that's this example here. A doctor, I picked the doctor and accountant don't really matter. What matters is the lawyer. It's fun sometimes to make fun of lawyers. But you could easily substitute that with three other groups based on profession, based on religion, based on ethnicity, based on race, based on many different things. And with many of those things, as if you're trying to sell beer or ice cream or a political candidate, if you make the wrong choices, you risk the joke not working, or worse, you getting in trouble. It could be a career-ending move or make your stock tumble if you talk about the wrong people the wrong way. So it's very important to know your audience. And no offense to any lawyers here, I hope that people understand the gist of the point. But one of my favorite types of jokes, the Jewish jokes. I'm Jewish, so I can appreciate a Jewish joke. Now, some Jewish jokes actually make fun of Jews. And if a Jew tells a joke that makes fun of Jews to other Jews, and the same thing would apply with any other ethnic or racial or other type of group, where you could make fun of your own group amongst your own people, but if you make fun of them to other people, or worse, those other people make fun of, in this case, the Jews, behind their back, that is really, really a problem, and these are big problems. So I like to stick to the Jewish. There are plenty of Jewish jokes, though, that make fun of themselves, that aren't, hopefully aren't offensive, aren't a problem. So let me tell you a couple of my favorites here. Actually, I got off track here, but yes, let's go to the Jewish joke. So a man comes home and he's complaining to his family, I had this worst possible day. So what happens? I had all this money at the races and I lost it all. What happened? Well, it started out pretty well. I was walking along the street and I see a rabbi across the street. He's going the other direction. And all of a sudden a wind comes along and blows his hat off. And I run and I catch the hat and I bring it to the rabbi. And he was so thankful. I did a good deed. He was appreciative. And he gave me $20. I thought, aha, this is my lucky day. I take the $20 and I go off to the races. And sure enough, in the first race, there's a horse named Top Hat. I thought, hat, the rabbi, the hat. It must be a sign from above. And I took that $20, I put it on Top Hat, and he won. So I took the money from that, and I look in the next race, and there's Stetson, another horse. That's named after a hat company. Great, I took all the money and I put it on Stetson, and Stetson won. I keep going. By the 10th race, I had over $1,000. Well, what happened then? Well, I looked at there, and I saw there was a horse named Chateau, and I took all the money and I put it on Chateau, and Chateau came in last place. And his family says, you idiot. Chateau is a house. Chapeau is a hat. Like, oh my goodness, how did I miss that? And by the way, what horse did win that race? Oh, some Japanese horse named Yamaka. Let me give you another example of a joke that where, again, we're making fun of, not making, this was making fun a little bit of the person who didn't understand the Jewish aspect, in this case, Yiddish aspect of the joke. Then there are other jokes that maybe not necessarily Jewish, but they can also be interesting. So one of my favorites, there are many, many, many jokes about three people walk into a bar. It could be a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer. It could be a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim. It could be all kinds of things. So let me tell you one of my favorites. Bob, Dave, and Joe, they're walking along the street, along the boardwalk. It's a hot day. They decide, you know what? They're walking their dogs. Bob says, you know, it'd be nice to, there's a bar over there. It'd be nice to go in, it's air conditioned, get some nice drinks. Dave looks at the sign and says, no, 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 service animals only. Like, oh, Joe says, wait a minute, we've got dogs. Put on our sunglasses and we'll pretend that these are seeing eye dogs. So great idea. So they all put on their sunglasses, they're holding their dogs, and they walk into the bar. The bartender says, sorry, service animals only. And they're like, oh, these are our seeing eye dogs. So he looks at Bob's dog and says, oh, German Shepherd, nice dog. Come on in. And then he looks at Dave, says, oh, Golden Retriever. Yeah, very nice dog. Come on in. And he looks at Joe. Chihuahua? I've never seen a seeing eye dog that's a Chihuahua. Says, Chihuahua? They gave me a Chihuahua? This is playing on the fact that they were blind and couldn't see what they had, but it doesn't really make fun of blind people. And that's the best kind of joke. We can enjoy, we can get that punchline without actually hurting anyone. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.